There's an increased awareness of the need to be proactive, in developing policies to protect the church and to be vigilant in informing staff of the potential risks that we face. We do face a lot of common risks, including sexual abuse, embezzlement, and property damage. And on top of this, our society has somehow become even more litigious than ever, preferring to settle matters in court rather than between willing parties. Don't think it can't happen to you. There's a tendency among many of us to think that somehow we're immune or we're insulated from having bad things happen to us. Simply put, we are not immune. Churches have struggled with a variety of liability issues, including embezzlement and acts of impropriety, and it's vital and important that we update our policies, revisit our procedures, and do more to ensure that we're doing all that we can to protect our congregation and our facilities. As far as the warning signs that we face in the church, there's a few that really strike my mind. The first of those that I think we need to address is that it's very vital and important that we, every 1 to 2 years, do a background screen on all of our church staff and all of our volunteers. And the second thing that I've seen and others have noted is that churches have increasingly become the victim of violent attacks. Churches are actually a bit of a soft target, and it's essential that churches have an adequate security plan in place. In our case, we've actually hired armed off-duty police officers to work on our property to help ensure the protection of our congregation. There are many other methods you can employ and many model plans available to help you with this. And the third thing that I want to mention is deferred maintenance. Many of us put off the maintenance of our facilities, and this puts them at increased risk for property damage. It's vital that we keep our buildings well maintained and in compliance with the current codes in our municipalities to help ensure we don't have pitfalls in front of us. Okay, over the last 5 to 10 years, we've actually seen a lot of changes in how churches face risk management. We've seen a lot that stayed the same, but a couple of the things that strike me as different are that we've got an increased awareness about the need to be proactive. We've got increased resources at our disposal, and there's very new and specific products that are available to help the church. One of the greatest changes has been in the increased usage of technology in the church. The church has really opened up as an area for cybercrime. Many perpetrators even view churches as soft targets, meaning that we're ill prepared to handle the intrusions that we may be facing. And it's vital to have the insurance protection that we need in this area. And also to take steps to avoid having it become an issue at all. And then finally, I think that that our society is becoming increasingly litigious. It's a shame, but it's true. We have to be aware of the potential risk and to take steps to minimize actions against the church. We've been very fortunate to partner with Mike Russell and Associates. I could cite many things, but I think that I'll simply say that their customer service is outstanding. We get very timely and accurate information when we need their assistance, and I know that I can rely on what Mike and others at his firm tell me, which is very, very comforting. When it comes to some specific advice that I might share with pastors and administrators and people that are church leaders, I think it's really important to not put risk as a low priority item. It only takes one misstep to place the church in great peril. Obviously, it's difficult to anticipate every potential issue, but simply crossing your fingers and hoping that it isn't your church that's in the headlines or dealing with a major property loss is not the right approach. Issues and crisis situations can strike any church. You better make sure that you have adequate coverage and the right agent and carrier in case you are that church.